again. In my last video I introduced the letters Vav, Zayin, Kheyt, and Tet. In this video I just wanted to hit a little bit more on pronunciation, and I think in the last video I forgot to mention the other pronunciations of the letter Vav, or to be clear about it. So I said the word Hu, in the word Hu, the letter Vav is pronounced U, or maybe I didn't even say how it's pronounced, but the letter Vav is pronounced U in the word Hu, and we said the word Hu actually means he, so it's confusing in Hebrew because Hu is an English word, and it doesn't mean he, so it gets even more confusing, but we'll leave it at that for now, as far as that goes. But anyway, the letter Vav can sound like V as in Victor. It can sound like U as in U, super. I guess I did say that in the last video, didn't I? And O as in, I think I said soap in the last video. Yeah, so I did hit those pronunciations. Alright, so we got Vav. You understand it has multiple pronunciations, and sometimes, let me think here. Yeah. So another thing about Vav is that it can be used to mean, it is used to mean and. So if you put the letter Vav as a prefix, in Hebrew you call it kheyt. Latchil is to begin, so kheyt, prefix, it begins the word. If you put the letter Vav as a kheyt, as a prefix on a word, then it means and it is used in such a broad variety of ways in Hebrew. It's really a kind of a unique feature of Hebrew, because it's not as annoying as the English word and. It just naturally binds the words together, and just as an example, let's see, in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth. So you have Bereshit bara Elohim et hashamayim ve'et haaretz, ve is and, so in the earth. Va'aretz hayta tohu vavohu, and the earth was chaotic and void, and so there, ve, if you go back and listen to that, you'll hear ve multiple times. All the ve's there, I think, are and. Vayomer Elohim, and here's the unique one. In actions and verbs in Hebrew, ve can be used to change a future tense verb, or like we call it the durative present tense, I think. Can be used to change it into a what we call a narrative past tense. In oftentimes Hebrew scholars call it the vayiktol form. So vayomer Elohim, it would mean like almost, it's like the form of the verb that's very similar to like he will be saying this, or he continually says this. But instead, vayomer, instead of meaning he continually says this or whatever, it means and he said. So it's used in when you're already into a story, you tell them, okay, vayomer Elohim, yehi or, and God said, let there be light. So that's one example there. Oh, let's see here. What else? So that's the Vav. And along with that, the letter beyt, remember it's the second letter of the alphabet, so if you've started to write out for yourself all these letters, then the letter beyt also can be added to the beginning of a word as a prefix to mean like in, or on, or at, a variety of things. So Bereshit, actually the first letter of the Bible, the very first letter of the Bible is the letter beyt, and it's not an official part of the word. It's a prefix added to help you know that it's not, I don't know, it tells you that in the beginning God created. So Reshit means beginning. You don't have to remember that. And be, it means in. So bereshit, in the beginning. And actually, technically, the form that means the is not there. So actually, it means in a beginning. One of many beginnings, who knows? But that's the way it's worded there. Some people speculate all kinds of things. I'm not even going to get into it because it's just It's a whole slew of thoughts, and obviously a very controversial passage that people argue over as far as evolution and all this stuff. Personally, linguistically, I think there's not enough information to argue over there, and we just have to settle for not knowing. But yes, so bereshit, that's one example of a prefix. You don't have to remember this right now, but now you're hearing beyt, vav. Don't think you need to know everything right away. Like, the point is you're being exposed to it. You're being welcomed into the story of the Aleph Bet, and you will learn. So last thing I wanted to say before I end this video is just a lot of people, especially Americans, we really stress out over the kheyt sound. It's like kh. It's so hard. It's disgusting to our ears even. There are a variety of kheyt sounds in Hebrew. Like Mizrahi Jews will pronounce it ha. But that's not even entirely accurate either, because it did historically have two pronunciations. So one is the kh sound, which is kind of it's like where you make the K sound in your mouth, but then you allow air to flow over and kind of like go over the tongue there. I don't know. So if I say k and then you lighten it, k, that was very intense, and you don't have to do like that. It's just light k. It eventually becomes. But at first it can sound like a mouthful of rocks, and that's fine. It's a good way to get used to that place, and then you lighten it afterwards. You don't always go k. But if you do a k sound and then lighten it up, you get k. And then you do it even lighter, and you get a nice k, a little smoother. And but yeah, there was historically two pronunciations, and Arabic preserves that to this day. There's ha, which is in the back of the throat. Same thing that does the guttural stop. I mentioned for Aleph that you have guttural stop. So that same flap, if you were to do not totally stop the airflow but just lightly resist, then you have ha. And so, but in general, in modern Israeli Hebrew, they just do both kh. And some Americans, because they struggle so much with it, and some people just really struggle. Why? I better move. Because they struggle so much with it, they just do a K sound. So they just do k. But I really advise you to give your best to try to learn the kh sound. Yeah, so that's that, and also don't overdo it. You can actually you get like a sore throat, or your mouth kind of get tired from like messing around with it too much. But that's that. So yeah, I think that's it. All the best. Hope you get it. And again, the Aleph Bet song is Aleph Bet Vet Gimel Dalet Hey Vav Zayin Chet Tet. And that's what you've gotten so far. Anyway, all the best.